Early here. It's very windy here. I hope this video is syncing up the words with my mouth. It looks a little off when I'm doing the video, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go with it and see. Maybe it'll turn out. I don't know, but it's real windy here today, and I hate doing this video, but I'm very upset. I asked a person to do me a favor, and they kind of like completely I got an unintentional haircut that I did not want, and I asked them to trim the ends, the bottom inch, like that little bottom part. 1 inch was all I wanted cut off. I had very long hair. It was like down to my belt loops, and it was like sticking in the back of my pants. So I wanted that 1 little inch cut off right above where my pants were, where my belt was. And I have this trauma, really, it's trauma, from going to having people chop my hair off. I've had long hair all my life, except for the times that people have chopped it off without my permission. It's happened several times. And one time I voluntarily cut my hair, or a couple of times I slowly cut my hair up to where it was short. But I did it myself I didn't do the haircut myself. But I found a hairdresser that, well, the first time I did get it cut off, I did tell them to cut about 5 or 6 or 7 inches off. That's usually what they do whenever I tell them I want to trim. So I rarely go to a hair salon. I think it's been maybe 30 years since I've been to a hair salon. Well, it really started when I was a child because I liked long hair. And my mom gave me like a boy haircut, like a bold boy haircut when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I hated it. And I remember getting it, and I absolutely hated it. And it finally grew out, and then all through elementary school, I had long hair all the way down to my waist, and I'd wear it in braids, I wear it long, sometimes in ponytails and dog ears. And then the summer that we were going to go into, or I was going to go into 7th grade, or my mom told us we all need to get our hair cut. She was going to take us, and I was like, I don't want to get I was really upset. I didn't want it cut, and she was like, you need to trim it, at least trim it. And okay. I just remember I didn't want to do it. My sisters got, at that time, like the Farrah Fawcett haircuts were in, all the like wing kind of, it was back in the 70s, and it was real popular. I don't know if it was Farrah Fawcett then. It was like right before, and maybe a few years before she got really popular. But they were starting to do the kind of winging kind of haircuts, and mine was completely straight all the way to my waist. And we went there, and she told the person to cut it like halfway up my back, and it was like, to just a little bit below my shoulder blades. And I was, traumatized by it. I was very upset, and I cried. I didn't speak to my mom probably for like 6 or 8 months. I barely said one word to her the entire time. And I was truly upset, truly traumatized by it. And she knew that I loved long hair, but for some reason she just hated my long hair, and she always was bitching and griping about it to, cut it. And I always brushed it. It was always nice. Always kept it, brushed and combed out. And I don't know why, but a lot of mothers are that way about their daughters. They always want, I don't know, there's a thing like that. I've met other people that had that same situation growing up, and that continued all until the day she died. She bitched and griped about my hair all the time, and I always kept it really nice, really, I don't know. It was just a thing that she had. She had really short hair. She didn't like, I don't know why. But then I think I went to a hairdresser. It took about 10 years to grow it back out. And I went to a hairdresser. It was almost not quite to my waist, not quite that long, but it was maybe a couple inches from the back of my belt, you know, not quite as long as it was originally. And by that time I was older, I was a teenager, and I went to a hairdresser and I told him I wanted a long, like Fair Fawcett, the Fair Fawcett cut was in now, but I had long hair, and I told him I just wanted it kind of, like beveled down. I don't know what you call it. I don't know the actual term for it, but just the sides of it kind of shaped. But I still wanted it very, very long. This person cut it up to my shoulder blades, cut about 8 or 10 inches off, and I cried and bawled, and I was very upset. And it took a long time for it to grow out, and then slowly I just kept trying to grow it out, and my hair is very fine, very, very thin, very fine hair, and it doesn't really grow all that fast. It does, I mean, not a whole lot. It's not super slow, but not fast. And then it took about, I don't even know, a long time, another 5, 7, 8 years. Grew it out again. I took my chances again. I hadn't been to a hairdresser for all those years, and they did the same thing. So 2 times that I've gone to a salon, and that was the last time I went to a salon, and that was 30-something years ago. And actually, the first time when the first hairdresser cut my hair, I think I did I just tried to have it shaped or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. I have some pictures of different hairstyles, but I remember I wasn't happy with it, you know. And then after this second hairdresser cut my hair, and I was in my 20s at that time, and I grew it out really, really long, and then I met my ex-husband. I asked him to trim the bottom inch of it. It was down to my waist. And this man cut my hair, you know, halfway up my back. He did the same exact thing. And so I was screaming and yelling and cursing and very upset, you know. So my mother did it to me. 2 hairdressers did it to me. Then my husband did it to me over a course of about 40 years, I guess. Maybe 30 years, I guess. 30-something. I don't know. And then my hair, I have been growing out ever since that happened. That was probably like 17 years, but I've trimmed it throughout the years. And then I did get upset one time. I think it was about maybe like 8 or 9. It was at the beginning of my YouTube channel. I actually have a video of it where I just was so sick of it, and it was so hot here, and I cut my hair. I cut it. I was actually really stressed about a lot of other things, and I cut my hair, and I cut it, you know, really short, and I just cut it in the back, and I really did cut it that bad, that horrible. But that was a consensual thing that I did. It was okay for me to do it because it was me. But this weekend, or not this weekend, yesterday, this is fresh trauma. See, my hair is here, okay? My hair was down to my waist. And you can see it's a dark, you know, this hoodie is dark, my hair is dark. But it's right here. That's the longest point of it. And it was another 8 or probably 10 inches at least. I asked this family member to, can you please do me a favor? I don't trust anybody, and I told him, you know, several stories that, you know, several times I've asked for people to trim it, to give me a trim on the bottom, just that little wispy bottom part. Not even the sides. Some of my sides are maybe not, it's not all straight, you know, it's just been growing out, you know, uneven throughout the years. And I just wanted to trim that little bottom part. Even if you don't get the sides, I don't care. It'll grow in, and it's so... I wear my hair in a ponytail most of the time, and at work I have to wear it up anyway. And it's not even that noticeable. So I just wanted that little bottom part trimmed off. And they were saying, "Oh yeah, you can trust me. Don't worry. I know how to cut hair. I cut my own hair. I do. Don't worry. You can trust me. You can trust me. You know, all pat me on the shoulders." And so I repeated it at least 8 or 10 times. Just 1 inch. I just want 1 inch. Just cut 1 inch. And I was showing them just 1 inch, just the very bottom part, just the very bottom part. I went over and over and over, and then they're like, "Okay, okay, okay," and they were like, turn me around. They started, I could feel them combing it out. And then they put their hand on like kind of the back of my shoulder, the lower part kind of. And I could feel them kind of like combing it and then kind of sizing. I was like, just that bottom part. Just cut the bottom part. Remember, I don't want anything more than that. I don't want it chopped off. I don't want my hair chopped off like all the other people did. You know, all these bad memories from it all being chopped off. I don't want it chopped off. Don't chop it off. I went over and over. And it took several minutes for this person, and they're putting their hand there, so I thought they were like lining the hair up, and I could hear them cutting it and combing it out and cutting it, and they're like trimming it. I was like, I could feel like them trimming it a little more, and I was like, don't trim it too much, you know, don't cut it all off. And she's like, I'm not, it's okay, I know what I'm doing. And that went on for several minutes, and then she kind of combed out. She goes, okay. I turned around and I looked on the floor, and I saw like sections of my hair like this. I got really upset, you know, because I trusted this person not to do this, you know. And they were so proud of the cut, and I was like, she's like, it looks really good, or I don't even remember what she said. I was so mind blocked by it, you know. And I looked on the floor and I saw these huge sections of my hair, and little other sections where she had continued to cut, trying to cut it even. And I was so upset. But I was at that person's house to do an errand with them, to help them do something, and they have a small child there, and I would have just started screaming and yelling, but I was I was in shock, and I didn't want to do that in front of the child. And we were fixing to leave to go somewhere and do all these errands. And so I had to take a bunch of stuff out to my car. I said, I gotta go to my car. And I picked up my stuff, and I went out, and I started crying. And I was out there for about 5 minutes, and I was trying, you know, not to, I didn't want to alert this child to this thing. And I know I could feel the tension between me and this other person. I was very, very upset. And we had to go somewhere, and I actually went to Walmart. And I must have saw 50 girls with long, long hair all the way to their waist. And I almost started bawling in the middle of the store. You know, I was very, very upset. I was just I was starting to get angry too, because this is not okay. I don't like it. This is not what I want. It's not what I asked for. And I don't understand why people do that. Why in the hell can people not understand 1 inch means 1 fucking inch? And I don't like to use that F word. I don't like to use it, you know, but I'm very, very upset at this. And I will never understand and never comprehend how somebody can do that to another person, you know. Because this is a physical thing that you're doing to somebody. You're augmenting, you know, part of their physical being, you know. You're changing, you know, their total hairstyle, the total of their, I don't know, it just changes everything. It ruins everything, you know. And for me, in my eyes, my hair is ruined. It's completely ruined. It's just trashed, you know. And I can't, you know, I couldn't voice that to that person because this child was here. I was very upset. And I cried all night long last night. My face is all puffy from it. And cried again this morning when I saw it, and and I was trying to comb it out, and it was not there. There was no hair there to brush, and I was very upset. I'll never understand how people who work in a hair salon can make this mistake. I don't know how in the hell somebody who is in that profession can, have the arrogance and the like controlling behavior to do that to their clients. When somebody tells you cut 1 inch off, or less, or whatever. I'll never understand these hairstylists that will cut 8-10 inches without your permission. I've heard so many stories like that, and I just don't. To me, that's a form of assault. It really is. It's a physical thing that you're doing to somebody. And I know that sometimes when you have other people who are non-professionals, family members or friends or whatever, that do stuff like that, and to me, I think they try to justify it in their mind since they're not professional. They're trying to make it look good according to what they think is good, but it's not what you wanted. When you ask somebody, when you put your total trust in somebody to do what do something that you can't find anybody else to do, and you swear up and down that you can do it, then you need to be able to come through with that. This is, it completely ruined the trust that I have in this person. I will never trust this person for as long as I live. And I love this person with all my heart. But it ruined everything, and it changes the dynamic of our relationship and everything. And it may sound silly that this is, how I feel, but it's, this is something that is super, super important to me. It's something that it's not okay for somebody to make this decision for me. It's my decision, and it's my body, part of my body, for you to augment it, to justify it that, oh, it looks better like this, no, it doesn't. This looks like trash. It's garbage. It's butchered. It's ruined, it's completely ruined, and I hate it. I hate it. And it will take years for it to grow back out. And I'll never get over it. I will never get over it. I still haven't gotten over what my mom did to me in 7th grade, and that was over 50 years ago. I've never let it go. And I never will, So whenever you do something to somebody and you think it is nothing, and you think they're being silly and ridiculous, you have traded their trust. You've completely traded it for nothing, thrown it away. Just, that person will no longer trust you. And is that worth your arrogance, is that worth destroying a relationship? Because it means more to me than just the hair being cut off. It's not just the hair being cut off. It's that I can never, ever trust you for anything now. Not even the simplest thing. You can't even cut 1 inch of hair off. You don't value my trust. When somebody puts their trust in you, that's one of the most valuable things that you can have from somebody. And you completely throw it in the trash. Well, I'm just ranting about this. I just have to say this. And I rarely talk about personal things, so much, but I have to. It's such a fresh injury to me. I feel that I have to get it out, some way. Okay. Thank you all. You can tell me what your traumas are in the comments, or something that some people take like it's nothing, like it means nothing to them, but it's super valuable to you. I like to hear some of that stuff from some of y'all and how y'all feel. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.